TikTok's parent, ByteDance, just launched a new AI model to compete with Google's Nano, and honestly, the results will shock you. Nano, Google's Frankenstein, has been breaking the internet since its launch. Everyone has claimed it to be the best AI generator ever. But with the launch of ByteDance's Seedream 4.0, the claims may be proven false. I have dedicated my last week reading up on all AI news, removing the fluff, extracting the useful bits, and presenting it in an easily digestible format just so you don't have to. By the end of this video, we will have determined if Google continues to have the best generative AI in the world. Is Amazon's Waymo competitor even viable? And many more such news. Let's get into it. People who follow image generation know Google's Nano pretty well. It's been the go-to small model, quick, efficient, and surprisingly capable for its size. Lately though, a new name has been showing up in discussions, Seedream 4.0 from ByteDance, the company behind TikTok. Seedream 4.0 isn't trying to be the biggest model on the planet. It's built to be light and powerful at the same time, and according to early tests, it's managing to edge past Nano on a few important benchmarks. Some of those results come from ByteDance's own Magic Bench division, but another set was produced by an independent group called Artificial Analysis. Seeing both sets line up makes the claims feel a lot less like marketing and a lot more like a real shift. And we at AI Founders actually ran our own side-by-side tests between Nano and Seedream 4.0. Our findings matched the broader trend. Seedream came out just a little better overall, especially on photorealistic rendering and fine detail. Accessibility is also a big part of the story. ByteDance's own Byte Plus API offers direct access. Segmind provides a quick serverless playground. Create.ai integrates the model for easy UI use. And Comfy UI has native nodes that make plugging it into workflows straightforward, even for non-coders. So rather than another hype cycle, Seedream 4.0 feels more like ByteDance stepping into a space that's been dominated by only a few players, and showing there's room for another serious contender. Self-driving cars have been a coming soon headline for what feels like forever, mostly led by companies like Waymo, putting sensors on regular cars. But something different just rolled out on the Las Vegas Strip. Amazon's Zoox has finally put its robotaxi on the road. Not in a test yard, but out in public, with actual riders. And it's not just a regular car with cameras stuck on. Zoox built the whole thing from scratch, so when you get in, you're facing other passengers, like you're in a little lounge on wheels. No steering wheel, no dashboard. It feels more like a mini living room than a taxi. Right now, anyone with the Zoox app can request a ride to 5 designated locations, including Resorts World, the Luxor, and the New York Hotel. Each route is short, about 3 miles, 4.8 kilometers max, and the cars can carry up to 4 passengers at a time. The service is still free, making it easy for curious people to hop on and experience it. Waymo still dominates the autonomous scene, but its cars are mostly retrofitted minivans and SUVs. Zoox is betting that designing a purpose-built robo-taxi from the ground up will give it an edge long-term. Fewer compromises, smoother integration of sensors, and a more comfortable ride for passengers. Launching on the Strip also makes sense. It's dense, busy, full of tourists, and highly visible. Every ride doubles as a demo for the thousands of people walking past. For now, Zoox is treating Las Vegas like a living lab. Limited routes, free rides, and a striking design give people a low-stakes way to test something new. And it's a glimpse of how robotaxis might quietly move from experiment to everyday option. Microsoft has been OpenAI's biggest partner for years, hosting its models, integrating them into products, and taking a healthy share of revenue in return. That deal has long been framed as a win-win. OpenAI gets Microsoft's massive infrastructure. Microsoft gets a cut of the action. But now, the relationship is changing. According to new reports, OpenAI plans to shrink the revenue share it gives commercial partners like Microsoft from about 20% today to just 8% by the end of the decade. That may sound like a small tweak, but over several years, it could mean roughly $50 billion more staying inside OpenAI rather than flowing out. At the same time, Microsoft and OpenAI announced on Thursday that they've signed a non-binding deal for new relationship terms, a step that would allow OpenAI to restructure itself fully into a for-profit company. It's a sign the two are trying to reset the legal and financial framework at the same time. Why now? OpenAI is also negotiating how much it pays to rent Microsoft's cloud servers. Microsoft still runs the massive infrastructure behind ChatGPT and model training, but OpenAI is investing in its own chips and data centers, moves that could reduce its dependence on Azure over time. This isn't a breakup, but it's definitely a recalibration. Microsoft keeps its integration advantage: Office, Windows, Azure, while OpenAI positions itself to keep more upside as it scales. Together, these shifts show how quickly the AI landscape is evolving. Partnerships that looked permanent a year ago are already being rewritten as both sides figure out who owns which part of the future. Oracle isn't usually the first name people throw out when they talk about cutting-edge AI. For decades, it's been known more for databases and enterprise software than for headline-grabbing deals. But this week, the story flipped. The company's shares surged 36% on the back of strong cloud demand and a string of multi-billion-dollar AI agreements, including a reported $300 billion 5-year contract with OpenAI. That spike was so sharp, it briefly pushed Larry Ellison's net worth to $393 billion, making him, for a moment, richer than Elon Musk. It's not just one deal making the difference. Oracle's cloud division has been growing at a pace that would have been hard to imagine a few years ago. CEO Safra Catz is projecting 77% revenue growth this year to hit $18 billion, with more expansion on the horizon. Part of Oracle's strategy is to position itself as the cloud provider for AI companies that don't want to be tied solely to Microsoft, Google, or Amazon. That gives it room to sign massive multi-year deals like the one reportedly inked with OpenAI. What's striking is how this growth is reshaping Oracle's identity. Once a steady but unflashy enterprise giant, it's now seen as a genuine player in the AI infrastructure race, a field where few companies can even compete at this scale. The share price bump and Ellison's brief leap past Musk might seem like headline trivia, but they underline something bigger. Cloud infrastructure for AI is becoming one of the most valuable businesses in tech. And Oracle, once thought of as a laggard, is showing it can catch the wave, and maybe even ride ahead of it. I know this is more than 10 days old, but it's important, especially if you're following how Apple is trying to catch up in AI and robotics. Apple's robotics effort has just hit a major speed bump. Jian Zhang, the company's lead robotics researcher, has reportedly left for Meta's robotics studio. On its own, that might sound like just another high-profile job change, but this isn't happening in isolation. Around 10 researchers have left Apple's foundation models team this year for competitors like OpenAI and Anthropic. That kind of outflow signals more than normal turnover. It points to a company struggling to hold on to the very people building its next generation of AI tools. For Apple, this is especially tricky. The company has been trying to build credibility in AI and robotics, while competing with rivals who are shipping new models and products at a blistering pace. Losing top talent right now doesn't just slow projects, it makes it harder to define a clear strategy. There's also a structural challenge. Apple's famously secretive, hardware-centric culture works for the iPhone, but it can make collaboration and fast iteration harder in fields like machine learning and robotics, where open research and large-scale data sharing drive breakthroughs. So even though the headlines have moved on, this moment matters. It's a glimpse into why Apple's AI story feels muted compared to its peers, and how the combination of talent flight and internal structure may be slowing down its long-term ability to innovate in robotics and AI. If Apple wants to be more than a fast follower in this space, it'll need not just big announcements, but a way to keep its top people from walking out the door. So, that's what we covered today. Seedream 4.0 stepping up against Google's Nano Banana, Zoox giving people an actual robotaxi ride in Vegas, OpenAI reshaping its deal with Microsoft, Oracle turning into a surprise AI cloud heavyweight, and Apple losing key robotics talent to rivals. 5 very different stories, but all showing how fast things are moving right now. I wanted to bring them together so you don't have to piece it all from scattered headlines. That's it for this roundup. Thanks for sticking around, and let me know which of these stories you want me to dig into next.